everybody. Jeremy and I, we just woke up. It was around 8:30 in the morning. We slept, I think, over 10 hours. How exhausted we were. And it's a beautiful day. We are now gonna grab a breakfast here in Morotsu Port. Let's go eat something. Morning.
Hey, morning. Beautiful morning in Kaminoseki.
Jeremy stretching.
Yeah.
Doing morning exercises. Not lazy bastard like me.
He's an old bastard, that's right. Beautiful weather this morning, gorgeous scenery.
Yeah, there was the catamaran over there. He's gone.
He's gone. He went at about 7 o'clock.
Only open place was a small supermarket store within port premises, and we were dying for hot, freshly grinded coffee more than anything else.
I'm going to dive in here and pick out an bento for lunch for later.
Yeah.
Get a coffee. Waiting here for you.
Our shop was a typical mix of supermarket where fishermen could buy their food supplies prior departure, fruits and veggies store, and gift shop where tourists could buy local products, or omiyage in Japanese.
We're not allowed to eat inside, but I got myself some hot udon.
All right.
And then we can get a coffee there as well. We can sit on the benches out here and eat apparently, so.
Let me buy some food and then we can drink coffee afterwards.
That's good.
Okay. Okay, we are about to leave soon, and I would like Jeremy to explain to us the route we're gonna take on this trip, this 3-day trip. So Jeremy, can you tell us the secret how we're gonna go and where we're gonna go?
Well, hopefully we're going to go there safely. We set off yesterday from Oita, from Marine Pier, Marina, which is right down here tucked in behind Oita Airport. And we headed northeast past Himejima, which is quite a picturesque island. That's this big one up here. And then in through the port of Kaminoseki. There's a little headland here on the end of Nagashima, and then there's the mainland here of Yamaguchi-ken. It's a peninsula that comes down and meets Nagashima to form this little narrow entranceway, and there's a bridge. It's a 23 meter bridge height there. So the really useful thing about NewPEC Smart, this software that I use for navigating, it shows the bridge heights, which lots of other ones don't, so you can make sure that you're safe to navigate under it. So coming in through under the bridge into Kaminoseki, and then just around to the right hand side we've got Morotsu Port, which is an uminoeki. So it's got some good facilities here. There's a great onsen just up the road within a 5-minute walk. Really nice restaurant there as well. We had a fantastic meal there last night. So this morning we're going to leave Morotsu and go up through what I call the lagoon, and it's this sort of beautiful area of enclosed sea here, which is surrounded by Yamaguchi-ken on the east side, and then little islands forming a sort of a natural barrier here on the west side. And we come up through in between the tip of Nagashima and Sagoshima. So we'll come through here and then sail to the north of Ushima, Cow Island. I'm not quite sure why it's called Cow Island. I've never seen any cows there, but we'll skirt across the north of that and then take a sort of a long westward passage over to Himejima, and that's our destination for today. Himejima, Princess Island. There's on the north side of the island, there's a great big prawn farm there, and I'm not a big fan of ebi myself anyway, so I couldn't attest to how good they are. But what I'm planning to do is actually come around the north side of the island, just sail around the far end, just for the fun of it, because I haven't been around that side of the island before, and it's supposed to be quite pretty. And then come into Himejima port, which is on the south side. It's a ferry port, and that's how people get to and from the island normally from the mainland, which is the
Oita.
tip of the Kaminoseki Peninsula in Oita, here. So you can see the sort of ferry route here. I've come in from the south side many times, so I know the route in there, but I just like to go in over the north side this time. It's a different journey, and it's nice scenery, and you know, you've got islands on both sides, and point of sailing is to enjoy it. And then tomorrow we basically just we'll come out to a fairly sort of steep dogleg out, and then back south. So sort of initially head south east, and then just go south southwest, and that'll bring us back down to Oita and to Marine Pier. And we're talking about 4 hours back tomorrow, so it's a fairly easy journey. Again, I've done that many times. The only thing to watch out for is there's tons of fishing pots and nets and things like that up and down the coast, which is why you need to take a deep broad leg out to stay away from the fishing facilities.
And what about the software you're using? I'm using mostly the Navionics, and it's quite good, but I noticed that your software has some quite advanced features. The new PEC Smart, it's a Japanese software, and it seems to combine some elements of the navigation that don't come in Navionics as a part of the package. I personally really like new PEC Smart. I mean, the only downside for foreign users, if you don't read Japanese, it's going to be tough to use. I mean, you could learn some basic kanji and get the basic idea of it, but all of the navigation on new PEC Smart is in Japanese. If you read reasonably decent Japanese, then I'd definitely recommend this as probably the best, because it's optimized for Japan, of course. As you say, it's got some good features. If you switch this one on here, for example, this gives you current, because the Seto Naikai, of course, is highly tidal. And you see here the little hashed arrow, and that's telling you the direction of the current and the speed. And if I slide the time slider here, you can see the arrows rotate, and that'll give you an idea of the current at any given time of day and how strong that current is. And in the broad expanse of Ionada, which is the stretch of sea we're mainly sailing in, the current in the center of it isn't really strong at all. But then if you get down to the gap between Shikoku and Kyushu here, you can see that right now it's 2.3 knots, 2.9. Depending on the time of the day, it can get really high in there. I was checking it yesterday, and it was up to, there you go, 4 knots, 4.5 knots. It can get up to 5 knots current coming through there, depending upon the ebb and flow of the tide. So this is a really useful feature of new PEC Smart, particularly in the Seto Naikai, because the currents are very strong. And there's also I think it also combines the predict wind or the windy feature. It can also give you the mesoscale weather model as well. Yeah,
this is a very useful feature as well. So if you tap on this little icon up here, this brings up Fusoku, so this is wind speed here. It's on a color scale. You can see the sort of the color key up there on the top right hand side of the chart. Again, you can slide this and it'll adjust it according to the time of day.
That's a typical feature, right?
And then you've got
waves,
Namidaka, which is your wave height, which is good to know as well. Also working obviously on a color scale. And then you've got the sea temperature as well, which is, well, I guess it's nice to know if you're going to fall in. It's got route planning facilities, that sort of thing, setting waypoints, recording your journey. You can record all of the previous routes, so if you want to view them again, just go in and switch that particular one back on, and it will show you previous routes.
And also I want to emphasize how one of the very good features about new PEC Smart is that it has the AIS.
Yes, that's correct. So you can see quite a few ships actually around where we are right now, down here for example. Click on that and it gives you all of the details of that particular ship. It's a 58-meter ship.
For normally I would use three different softwares for these features, like the ship finder or whatever the name is, and then the predict wind and the navionics. But this software seems to combine all three together in the same, which is quite handy.
I think it does, and it's it used to be expensive. It used to be 3,400 yen a month to use, and they've actually reduced the price now. It's 900 yen a month to use, and you can use it for a month, switch it off, and then next time you want to use it 3 months later, use it for another month and switch it back on. So you can kind of jump in and out of your user contracts if you like. I think it's a fantastic deal. I mean, I subscribe to it year round because I sail every month pretty much. For 900 yen a month, it's a lifesaver, quite honestly.
Okay, good, thanks.
Pleasure.
So shall we go?
Let's go.
As we were leaving Murotsu, an extra vigilance was again needed, especially on the port side, as the incoming ships could appear behind the corner, almost out of nowhere. Once out, a beautiful landscape of what Jeremy called a lagoon started to reveal itself, and yes, it was breathtaking. While we were passing nearby Sagoshima, we noticed a flock of birds flying in circles around the tip of the island. I'm not sure about the reason, but it was like anything else in nature. Either they were hunting or avoiding becoming a prey. Similar phenomena among starlings is called murmuration. However, it is performed in much larger numbers and in more random patterns.
Again, totally died out. It's about 2 knots. As you can see, the sea is completely flat. We are motoring now toward the Himejima, which is located over there. So it will take us probably around 4 or 5 hours to get there. Meanwhile, we're gonna play with some boat lines and sheets, see if we can little optimize the boat for longer journeys. approaching Himejima. There's a large ferry coming here, directly on our heading. It's going a little bit faster than we are, so we don't need to change the course. And also, on the other side, there's one big ferry coming here, and it's heading right at us. So this guy will pass in front of us, no problem. But this is a little bit tricky. I think we're gonna make it. In case we don't, I'm gonna turn toward port side and make a bigger angle with him, so we're gonna actually avoid the collision pretty much easy. You can see he's coming right at us, but I think we're gonna make it. And we made it out of danger. So in case you're wondering, we are in the middle of the shipping channel, so the normal rules doesn't really apply here. We are not a stand-on vessel, so even if the boat is coming from the port side, we have to give him right away.
Peace. No engine noise. It's lovely.
Well, we almost reached Himejima, and yeah, we got about 6 knots coming from the broaderage, so we decided to put the sails up again. Okay, we got a slight downwind sail now. We've tested it for the first time on Jeremy's boat, wing on wing combination with the jib on the opposite side of the mainsail by using the spinnaker pole, and it seems to work nice. We got we got a 2.5 knots with 5 knots of wind, so it's not bad. You happy?
I'm ecstatic because I learned something today. And yeah, sailing is all about learning. You never stop learning, and this is cool. We learned something new today, so I'm very happy. Looks great.
Yes, it looked great indeed, but 5 knots of wind couldn't bring us to the port before dark. So we restarted the engine once again.
Okay, we are arriving in a few moments. That's a ferry port terminal, and we're gonna probably moor there. So we better prepare the fenders and the mooring lines. Okay, we docked now, and yeah, these are the typical fishing ports and ferry terminals. They don't have the proper floating docks. They just have a pile of concrete with the stairs, and these black fenders that you can see that can really leave a bad stains on your boat. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky, but we made it. Now it's a very low tide, so we used 4 fenders, and we used the fender board to secure the boat from the concrete wall. It's a homemade board by Jeremy, so if you need a board for your boat, just contact him.
worries for the night, it could be closed.
Once we arrived, we tried to find shops that might still serve some warm food, and ferry terminal seemed like a good place to ask for advice.
そこの道路まっすぐ行ったら、この信号ありますので、ここからまた左に行ってもらって、この辺にありますので。
I must admit, I'm totally puzzled with this one.
We finished up in a street maze, and the lack of streetlights made things even more confusing.
Oh, left? Okay.
There's lights down here.
It's probably cigar or Jido Hambaiki.
Finally, we made it to our preferred option, Okonomiyaki restaurant. But alas, Blast was already fully booked and we were not allowed to sit on the counter in front of the grill due to lack of plastic Corona screens. What a disappointment that was. Luckily, after only 10 minutes of wandering around, we located second out of 3 functional restaurants on the whole island, and the reward came again in the form of warm food and of course the cold beer.
Success.
Please join us in the next episode, in which we will explore Princess Island, find some answers about the origin of its name, and visit one of the island's most important landmarks. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and please, as always, like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button for notifications about future contents. Thanks again and see you soon.